How is everybody doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Boys in the Zone. I'm going to get my apologies out really quick because I am a little bit under the weather, but I didn't want to cancel the show or anything. I think it's just allergies, a little stuffed up and whatnot. But we got a whole host of stuff in the chat already. We got Travis saying, calling it right now, EJ won't take Corum or Colson because he hates the national championship Wolverines. You're probably right. But hey, you know how it goes with me. What's up, Cowboys Nation? From
I'll
my
fight
guy
for you.
Mike Tag on the Cowboys Cave. Great show. If you're not already following Mike and Kelly on the Cowboys
Hell of a
Cave,
show.
Always.
go ahead and check them out. Bugsy says, "What's up, Vince?" Always in the chat. What's up, guys? And then we got some back and forth between Travis and Mike Tag a little bit. So it's fun to see the chat already rocking.
Let's
But
go.
my guest here, we got Landry's legend, Jimmy J's hair, and excuse me, Sam wasn't able to make it with us, but they are the star we are. They do a great job over there on their Twitter page, just getting fundraisers going and giveaways and a whole bunch of stuff. But they're trying to get their YouTube stuff set up. They're very close, but I wanted to give them another chance to come back onto my show right before the draft and just chop it up with these guys because they're friends of mine and I enjoy having them on.
Much love, brother.
Well, we're ready to
Absolutely.
go now. 2 days away. We got plenty to say about the
Woo.
draft.
There we
Let's
go.
go.
Um, excuse me. I'm gonna be coughing throughout this video. Just FYI, guys.
I'll give you one.
There you go. Oh, my guy Tacos and touchdown. So Aaron B says, "What's going on, everybody?" Got to
What's up,
shout him out. Anyways, the draft is upon us. Thursday night, Cowboys pick 24. It seems like we're going offensive line, whether that's center or left tackle. I'm interested to hear your guys' opinions on if anything crazy is going to happen out of the blue. I know that Jesse Hawley mentioned maybe Michael Penix to the Cowboys. I don't see that happening, but any bold takes that you want to get on the show right now?
I don't, I,
Oh,
I don't, I don't want anything bold of anything I've heard. Not Michael Penix, not Johnny Brooks at 24. I like the O-line center thing. No,
yeah.
no bold
Jimmy?
takes.
Yeah. If we're going to talk really bold, if Michael Penix Jr. would be pretty bold because that means Dak Prescott's not sticking around. And if we're talking
Very.
about Dak Prescott not sticking around, then trade the guy, find a team he's willing to go to and get some value for him. If you're just going to let him walk and pay him $95 million for a total one season, so
Yeah.
that's bold,
Yeah.
but not a move I want.
Yeah, and if that was the case, you would have to have like a draft night trade, and
Of
that
course.
brings me into the Q&A. I put out a tweet on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and just asked Cowboys Nation, yo, shoot me some questions. I'm gonna get some answers from these guys, Jimmy from Landry, and the first one is: should the Cowboys trade back in this draft and pick up extra picks? You talk about not having a fourth rounder. What is your guys' opinions? Or, Jerry Jones mentioned like you don't trade back from a Michael Parsons, even though they traded back from Michael Parsons. That doesn't make any sense. But he famously said that today, and everybody was poking fun at it. But either way, do you see the potential of a player that's that level falling? And then would you still trade back knowing that you still need to occur more assets in this draft, or would you just stick and pick if that player was there? Jimmy?
So it's got to be that player is there, right? That's the big scenario. Who's on your board? Who's so high that all of a sudden you're at 24 and you're like, well, I'm not even risking one more pick. I'm not letting the team after us draft anybody because it might be that guy. For me, that guy might be a Graham Barton if he falls all the way there. It might be a JPJ depending on what our front office is looking at. For me,
Mhm.
I don't know if there is a that guy. I think for as many holes as we have, moving back a few spots, you're not going to lose so many players that it's going to be like, oh, that trade wasn't worth it. You pick up in the fourth round that you don't have, and maybe an extra fifth or sixth to go with it, depending on who you move back with. we know our draft, especially post round 3, we're pretty good. So I think there's more value in that for me. It'd have to be a
Yeah.
bona fide player. I mean, yeah, I don't know who would have to be sitting there for me to go, no, I'm not willing to trade back at all. I want that guy, you know.
Absolutely. Hey man, I got a comment on the shades. Just absolute swagging it up right now with those shades. I love them with
Thank
with
you,
the
sir.
Cowboys blue. Landry, what's your opinions on that?
Yeah, so I've got I've got the players there that I want, that I think would be gone if I didn't take them. JPJ in particular, who I expect to be there, but kind of with Jimmy in the sense that I could move on from them. Then there's other players who would seem more like that player, who fall in 10, 15 spots past where they're supposed to, Jazar Newton or something like that.
Mhm.
And even still, I'm with the ideas that I've got the holes. I want the 4th round pick back or better. I want 2/3 more than anything. So
Yeah.
not in particular. I like the idea of trading back. A lot of the first 10 picks, there's not going to be a whole lot of the tackles and going off the board. I think a lot of them will be there towards the end, and enough that we can fall back to the end of the first, early second, and maybe not get the guy who was the highest on our board, but get the equity that we need out of it.
Mm. So you think that there's going to be a tackle? I'm kind of erring on the
Yeah,
side
I
of
got a
things
bunch of
where,
tackles at like 35, 37, in that area.
well, for me, like Suamataya and Guyton,
Hmm.
um, Amagaji, like those
Hmm.
guys, I would kind of gag, throw up in my mouth if we picked them at 24.
Ooh,
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
no,
know.
that's too high.
Absolutely. Those are the
That's too
guys I want
high.
to trade back for.
okay. I thought you were saying like at
No,
24, and then
no.
you'd still feel good about trading back and trying to. Okay,
JPJ or Graham Barton at 24. After that, let's get out of there.
okay. Yeah, I like that idea. Um, my second question from Twitter was, what is your preferred order of draft picks for the top 3 rounds? So in position wise, so offensive tackle, linebacker, running back. What would your guys' preferred order be? And you can go ahead and start, Landry.
Offensive line, linebacker. It depends on what the running backs look like in the 3rd round. I think honestly, I think there's running backs in the 4th and 5th that I could live with. So I'll say offensive line, linebacker, and gosh, I don't know, best available, potentially receiver, potentially another linebacker,
Mm.
yeah, or potentially a second lineman. That's actually what I've been doing in a lot of my mocks, right? Plug in 2 of the holes: the tackle, the center, and the linebacker in the first 3.
My guy Travis says O line, linebacker, defensive tackle, any of those in the first round, then running back.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he
Yeah.
says O line first round, linebacker DT second round, running
Yep.
back 3rd round.
All right.
I mean, for me, I would probably lean offensive line, whether it's center, tackle, whichever one you don't get, then you try to see what you can do in the 2nd round, because I like a lot of these guards and like Christian Mahogany, Christian Haynes, McCormick, some of those guards to shift in and possibly play center. So I would be okay with that, spending your first 2 picks on revamping your offensive line. You saw how the Kansas City Chiefs made the Super Bowl. They had that detrimental offensive line. Then the next year they went heavy offensive draft or
Mm.
offensive line in the draft, and it really paid dividends for them, right? I think we could possibly see that with the Cowboys, just knowing that they lost Biotish, they lost Tyrant, and yes, they brought back Chuma, but it's one of those things. Um, Travis apparently is Falcon, which is
Mm.
hilarious. I thought it was some new guy that was a Michigan Wolverine fan. Well, that's awesome. Falcon. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna stay with Falcon, um, instead of Travis, just because it's your alias, bro.
That's
You
how we
got to
roll.
keep it. But anyways, yeah, I would go offensive line round 1. Really, if those top 3 linebackers are gone, I'm not reaching for a linebacker 2nd round. So I would kind of lean the opposite, like I said, guard, center, tackle, whatever, in the 2nd and then 3rd round. That's where I'm trying to see is the best available running back there. If not, then I'm just going strict BPA. I don't care if it's wide receiver. I don't care if it's corner.
Yeah, that's about where I was
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Once you get to
Jimmy.
87, that feels right. No, yeah. So just to touch on the last couple of things you said, once you get to 87, depending on what you've done, BPA does feel really good. Unless there's a running back there that you're like, well, he's so high on our board. There goes our running back. I get it. And then to touch on your, double dipping in offensive linemen, I've seen mock drafts and then I've played with draft scenarios, of course, of trading back and landing, say, a Zach Frazier and then a Cooper Beebe in a later round. If you plan on moving Tyler out to left tackle, that could work.
I don't love
it would be a scenario I'm okay with, but
well,
wouldn't
I
prefer
mean,
it.
like Frazier and Beebe, I like that. Not like I like the players. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but then you have a big hole at tackle unless you're planning on moving Smith
That's
over. You know,
which is an
it's
That's what I
option.
mean. It's just a scenario I've seen Zach Frazier, Cooper Beebe in a later round. And if you put Tyler at left tackle, then I would be like, you tell me that's our offensive line, I wouldn't go, I hate it. You know,
yeah.
I would
No, I mean
actually kind of
those are
like it.
two good players. And like
Sure.
here's the thing with last year's draft, they didn't pick good players on my board where they should have been picked, let's say. Um, so I think that they picked most of the guys around early and some of the players I just didn't even want to touch, but
Mhm.
that's, a story for another day. So if they're picking good players, which BB and Frazier would be in my opinion, especially in a trade back scenario, if you get Frazier at said 30 or something like that, I'd feel really good about that because then you
I,
possibly get the fourth back.
Yeah.
Um, like at
Right.
least they're picking good players this time around. Obviously, it's not what I want, but it's you're building for the future. So
Yeah. And I
continue
think
on
if
with
you,
your point though.
yeah, for sure. I think if you can't move Trey Lance for the fourth round pick, if you can't figure out some way to do that, and maybe you don't want to move Trey Lance, right? Because I don't listen. We can talk Dak contract situation if we want to while we're here, but I have no idea what's going on. I don't
We
know if
have
they've
we have
got
a
a
question
number.
about Dak. We have a
Sure.
question about Dak. So
Okay. And we can do that. But just so without knowing what's going on there, if you can't recoup a fourth for Trey Lance, then I'm very pro moving back and filling that void. Fourth round feels way too valuable for the way we draft and we need bodies. So I'm super on board with that. For me, and I know a lot of people are high on Edgar and Cooper and high on linebacker, and I'll let Landry tell you as far as where Dallas has their chances with Edgar and Cooper. He's got a little bit of info that might help. Um,
yeah, I think he's going earlier than 56. But go ahead.
yeah, and so uh, it's weird, right? Because all of a sudden, like wide receiver moves up my board for me. Like when we're talking about what's the value, because you got Brandon
Yeah,
Cooks. This is last year. If Jalen Tolbert doesn't pan out, I'm not trying to roll out CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert as your 1 and 2 the following year. So
yeah. Wide receiver is heavier as a need for me than Cowboys
and a,
Nation wants
it
to
and a
is.
lot of
allude
people
to,
want it.
and
Absolutely.
same with corner.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And I may be a fool here, but I'm still pro. We're gonna get Mozzie playing right, and Zimmer can do something there. And Demarvion Overshone is going to be a blessing to our linebacker room to the point to where I know interior defensive lineman and linebacker is really a high need, and I still believe it is. Just for me, not as high as offensive line and wide receiver core in a league where you want to throw the ball when you're coming off a season where Dak and McCarthy just cooked. Weapons, pass protect, weapons. I'm on board with that.
yeah, yeah. It's one of those things, man. Especially with what we saw in the playoff game, it's hard to really pigeonhole the Cowboys into like offensive line the first, and going heavy offense because like we scored points in that playoff game. It was really the defense, and that's what gets me weary. Is like
We scored
everybody's
points after they scored 35
well,
and
Yeah,
let us
sure,
they
score
all
sure,
20.
felt like
sure.
meaningless points. It was hard to.
They were.
Sure, but
Go
at the
ahead.
same time, it's like I didn't ever have a worry about the Cowboys not scoring points. It was all my everybody. I think
I'll
everybody
give you
knew
that.
the warning was, "Hey, we've got to stop Aaron Jones,"
Can't
and
stop
through
the
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
then Jordan Love was just throwing to wide open wide receivers. Like that was
sure.
legitimately like the problem. So,
What happened?
um, you know, it's hard to say Cowboys, hey, go get you a wide receiver, go get you an offensive tackle and an offensive center in this draft when defense was the cripple in the playoff game, in my opinion.
Well, then there it is, EJ. We can go back to it then. Edgerrin Cooper, a player that I wanted for 2 months, and then you may have seen I posted the picture with him. I live in Aggie Land. I drove him to the airport. I
Hmm.
mean, he told me out of his own mouth he won't be there at 56. He says if Dallas wants me, they'll have to draft, feel comfortable drafting me at 24 or whatever. I mean, he was. uh,
Mm.
I won't say anymore. He was going to visit an NFL team who was going to draft
Yeah.
him ahead of us. I mean,
Yeah,
that's where.
yeah.
But
He knows he won't be there.
Yeah, I think that Edgerrin Cooper's one of the top surprises we're going to see in the draft. That he might be a back end of the first round kind of
Oh
guy.
yeah,
Because
he
you think about these teams that possibly need offensive tackle help. Bills, Ravens, even Lions,
yeah.
Niners.
Here's a
Hey,
team I think you got to
Chiefs,
watch out
all
for.
those. Yeah, I
They have
just
33 and 39 as the Panthers too, and could use linebackers. They have 33 and 39. So for me, it's hard to see him making it past that.
yeah, that too. But let's say like the Chiefs are really eyeing a tackle. Do we really think that they're gonna get a tackle at the position they're at?
Right.
So maybe if they can't get a trade partner, they do pick just the best player on their board, and that could be Edrin Cooper. You know what I mean?
Could
So
be. Mhm.
So
it's
here's
one of those things.
my only
Go
question
ahead.
would be: would you take him at 24?
I would not.
Would not take him at
Ju-
24.
Little too
I,
high, right?
personally, for me, my thing is I like the player. Don't get me wrong, and he has pass rush upside too, like situational pass rush ability. He's like a little missile, or not a little. He's a big dude. You know, he's a missile. He goes downhill and stuff. I have a little bit of worries in coverage. Sometimes I just don't think that he diagnoses completely to the echelon of a first round player inside the top 25.
Yeah.
But overall, he's a young player who has a lot of upside and a lot of athleticism. So,
Yeah, I'm no expert, but if I
trade
had to
back,
just pin him
trade
at
back,
a
I might
number,
be
it'd
interested.
30. Right. I have him at like on my board. If I had a personal board, he'd be right at 35 or 36 overall best player. And so that's why I feel like Carolina is sitting at 33 and 39. For me, it's like, and I know linebacker is a need on their board.
Yeah.
So what was the Dak question? You said we had a Dak question in. Let's see here. Check these comments.
Or what?
2 to 24.
You can see those
Go
comments.
back in there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys talk amongst yourself. Apparently, my daughter needs me real quick.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
sorry.
We will hold it down. Yes, sir. Duty calls. Oh, you got to love the kids, right? I mean, to no avail. They are going to pop up, and I
You got a couple
love
of them
it.
over there.
I've got, Jimmy's got 5, so we've got our hands full over here in the Jimmy cave for sure. Everybody in
said you
chat,
can-
I think.
You can see the chat over there.
Yeah, you might be on your private chat. If you go up to
I
the
am.
top right,
I
there should be
am.
comments. Yeah, and
There
you
you
should
go.
be able to see. He said we had a Dak question. I was looking for it.
I
All
think
right,
that was
for-
pre-show.
false alarm, I
That was
think.
pre-show before
False-
you were in here. He'll find out.
Anyways, let's
Right
get
on.
back into these questions real quick. Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Only yes or no on this one. Do the Cowboys take a
Okay.
wide receiver
Yes.
somewhere in
In
the draft?
round-
Doesn't have to be anything. Anywhere in the draft.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I'm in agreement with you guys there. More likely for the Cowboys to trade up or down in the first round.
Down.
down.
Yep, down for me. Is there any shot Dak is traded on Thursday night, which I alluded to earlier? I'm gonna say no, just straight off the
Yes.
rip. It's just
There's a chance of everything.
there's
Right.
there is a chance. I will say that, but for me, there's just too much stuff that has to go into that trade because he has to
Yes.
agree on it. There's so
course.
much traction that
almost
has to be
impossible to get
gained
it done, yeah, on
before
that night.
trade
No.
night. Exactly. So
Half of it would have to be already done, and
Yeah,
it would be hard
exactly.
to keep quiet. So
exactly,
That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
Most likely player to be traded for a pick that's currently on the roster.
Trey Lance,
Trey Lance. Okay, Jimmy. Why do you say that?
just because we spin a 4th for him, if we're going to extend Dak, and because here's the thing. I believe the trade, and I'll try to make this quick. I believe the Trey Lance, and I commented on somebody's tweet about it today. It wasn't insurance for if Dak goes down. You already have a Cooper Rush who knows your system and is a proven winner. Why spend a 4th round pick, a day 3 pick, to have 2 of those guys on your bench? You don't just need 2 good backups. Like, I want to be able to win games if Dak goes down. You already had that guy sitting there. For me, the Trey Lance draft pick, or the Trey Lance trade, was if Dak doesn't stay, we don't have to draft a rookie, and we've got a guy that we think we can pay at a minimal value for 2 to 4 years and try him out. And he's already got really high potential, a high ceiling. Somebody's already made, the 49ers spent the world to get him and let him go. So I feel like Trey Lance was our future draft pick ahead of time if Dak doesn't stay. So if we extend Dak like we all think we're going to, then he's the one that's tradable for me, because Cooper Rush has already been proven to win in your system, and he's still there. So
I I'm along the mindset of Dak's deal isn't going to get done before the draft. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Oh no, not before the
And
draft.
on top of that, I think that the Cowboys are going to try to figure out how to kind of front load that contract a little bit and make this the get right year for their money, and then they can front load the contract a little bit for next year and the years prior. So
Mhm.
for 2 years, so kind of along the lines of the Daniel Jones contract. So if they are ready to move off of Dak Prescott, not only can they do that and not have all the dead money associated with it, but it's also way more valuable of a contract to whatever trade suitor is out there for Dak Prescott. So um, I
No,
I wouldn't think they're going to trade Lance just because he's kind of that backup plan, but he only has I think 1 year, maybe 2 years left on the contract. So, who knows?
and real quick before Landry and before you guys give us your tradable player, since we're on the kind of the Trey Lance thing, what and Dak's contract, Dak won the hell out of his first contract negotiation. If he does get an extension and we do keep him around, and I hope we do, he's probably going to win this one. So is there going to be another no trades clause? Is it going to be another thing like if you
Oh,
cut me
there
or
will
let me
be.
go or decide to move from me, it's going to cost you 3 arms and 2 legs? Like, yeah. So
I think anything that he's already gotten before, there's no way that they can hold that from him now. Just
right,
because I mean he's coming off his best season,
hmm
all pro, should have
exactly.
been the MVP.
Should have been
Sorry,
MVP,
sorry, Lamar, lovers, but realistically, he should have been the MVP.
100%.
And it's one of those things, man. He's already got it in the past. The only thing that the Cowboys can do differently is not have all the dead money hit later down the line and
Right,
front load it a little bit more to try to get ahead of that stuff later if they do plan on moving off of him. That's
right.
my only thing that changes for me. Landry, your player that you think would be traded, if any, on the roster?
I think I like too many of my players. I guess not. I guess not. I don't have. The only one that comes to mind is an unrealistic one, and it'd be a Herschel Walker type deal. It'd be Michael Parsons, and I don't want to speak that anything. So
Ooh,
I mean, you'd
Right.
get everything. You'd get everything in the world, and be saved about $200 million. But that's not. I'm not interested. I'm just saying that's
No.
the only thing I came up with in all that time. I like my players.
yeah. I wonder if there is I don't know how much you guys follow how many picks our rivals have, but the Commanders have a boatload of
They
picks.
do. They've got
I
a
wonder if there's anybody on the roster that Dan Quinn loves, and he's a Dan Quinn guy currently on the roster still, that he would be like, yeah, we'll throw you guys a fifth round for this dude. We
Oh,
love
I'm,
that guy.
oh, I'm sure there is. He
You know what I
already
mean?
loves 4 or 5. So
My problem
And
with that would be I think it would be somebody that even if we don't love that player as much, we need them
Sam
too
Williams would be
much.
the other one, and that's the one,
that's
and that's.
that's the guy that I'm I'm
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
kind
not gonna
of
say, and now I'm not saying that because I don't want to trade Sam Williams. That's the only reason I didn't say it.
yeah.
No, he's got to be Dorrance's replacement, and I believe he can be a little. I think Sam Williams can be better. I love Garrett. I think he could be better than Dorrance was. So that, and again, when you lose a body like Dorrance, Sam all of a sudden becomes a need on your roster. It's a little hard to move off of unless you know you can get it back.
Yeah. And I wouldn't trade Sam for
No.
probably anything. I mean,
Do you think you could get your
third,
fourth? That's what I'm gonna say. Like,
fourth, maybe. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
fourth,
think you could.
fourth, I would have to swallow my like pride a little bit. Like, man, I really thought this kid could be better. But if they're willing to cut their losses, it is what it
yeah,
is. You get your
when
fourth
you're
rounder
talking
back.
about the gang
The
of picks they
third,
have,
Two
but
years.
if you
yeah,
could get a third back, I would feel great about that trade personally.
He's a good special teams player already.
very good.
But and my guy Falcon saying, yeah, major year for Williams in my opinion.
Sure.
Good. Good.
He's saying same for Tolbert. He improved for sure, but he needs to step up big. Oh, I thought he
No,
was
he
saying
has
to,
to.
to trade.
This
Um,
is the year for Tolbert.
No,
Yeah.
he has to. No,
And he's right. He
He-
did. He did improve a lot last year because I was ready to cut him previously.
no,
what
Jalen
about
Tolbert.
what about a Donovan Wilson or
Donovan
a
Wilson's from Texas A&M also, so definitely not.
well, I'm just saying
No,
like trade to you get that contract off your books a little bit, which it's not much, obviously, and he's a good player. Had a little bit of a down year, but if Dan Quinn called you and said, "Hey, we'll give you your fourth back for Donovan Wilson,"
Ooh, that's the one where I might have to swallow my pride.
yeah, because when even if you're talking about just his quality of play, if you want to just look past the numbers and PFF rankings and what he is as a safety, when you want to just talk about being in our locker room and being one of the dogs on our team,
Yeah.
When personnel, like somebody who's a Dallas Cowboy and who you want to like kind of set tones, I'm gonna need that guy on my team.
Yeah,
I like
that's a good
Dono.
point. And I'm not trying to trade any of these guys. Just the
But,
question was
but you're right.
presented tonight.
I'm
You
with
know
you
what I mean?
for a 4th-round pick for Donovan Wilson. You're right. That would change my mind. I think
Um,
more than it would Sam.
would you completely trade out of round 1? So you don't have that 5th round option in the future, but you can occur quite a bit of picks if you do. Are you guys open to that? Would you not like it?
I've
I
been open
wouldn't
to that.
wouldn't go too much past 34 or 5. I think what is New England has 36,
Yeah.
maybe there. 33 with Carolina would be nice, just outside the first round because it is in the second.
Carolina's so hard because they don't have picks. Like, they don't even have a first rounder.
Right, they
So
just
they
have
probably
those
don't
2
want to
seconds.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and for me, I would have no problem with trying to get more picks this year instead of worrying about the 5th-year option. The Cowboys love to have the 5th-year option, whatever. But in reality, you got to make your team better right now, and the
Right now.
5th-year option does nothing for that.
And
So
you've also got to do it in a manner to where you're not necessarily trying to draft so high on the like moving up for a player. Why? So you can pay him more money. We're already in contract peril. We've already got guys to pay. I'm trying to fill the roster with bodies that aren't going to cost anything for the next 4 years. So as far, like we can move down, the less we got to pay these guys, not that they don't deserve their money. I'm not saying in that aspect at all. Like don't pay them. I'm just saying we need to save everywhere we can to pay everybody we have to.
yeah. No, that's a good point. Last question here. Chances that we trade for a running back that's on a different team that's still on their rookie contract during the draft. So think DeAndre Swift last year with Philly, traded on draft night. I think it was the 3rd day or 2nd day of draft.
That's true.
And he got moved, and everybody's like, oh, whoa, crazy trade. But, wasn't really that crazy. But talking about like maybe a Kenneth Walker or Damian Pierce or one of those guys that are kind of falling a little bit out of favor with their teams. But and like the Seahawks, they'd love to draft freaking running backs every single year. So maybe they would be willing to do that. Who knows? What's the chances of that, you guys? Just put a number on it.
So the scenario again is us trading for a running back on draft night
on a separate team that's like on their rookie contract.
The younger running back.
25% chance. Really, I would go like 5.
I hadn't entertained it yet, and I like the idea of it.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of it too, because at least you're getting a proven commodity in the NFL that I'm gonna give it like a 20.
Who was it? Who was it that picked up both of Baltimore's ex running backs, J.K. Dobbins and?
I have no idea.
I can't remember
I thought J.K. was still out there.
No, he ended up getting picked up, and I was upset about it because he was one I was really hoping we would get. Like when we grabbed Royce Freeman, like I was okay with that.
Let me go check it out.
Yeah,
that's just what came to mind. It was towards the end of the season, so
Chargers.
The Chargers got Dobbins and the other Ravens running back. I believe they got them both.
Really?
I think so. But he's one I would give a 5th round pick for and bring him in. I think he can play.
To speak more to that, though, to do that sounds to me like either picks next year or one of those players that you were talking about that I don't really want to trade. So
Falcon says, "Yo, where's Sammy? Is she boycotting Cowboys content since TP left?"
She is still in mourning over TP.
Yes,
but that's not why she's not here tonight.
She has a previous engagement with something with her kid.
Yeah.
So
she's still in her black gown and just dreading.
We got to get her back on the show
for sure.
But yeah, those were the questions. Those were fun. But I have a question of my own for you guys before the draft. Before we know anything about the players we're bringing in, put a win total on this team for next year.
11.
11. You're more optimistic than me, Landry.
We've been through it. We've been through this already, though.
Listen,
the things that people think are so bad, even without picks, aren't so bad. Linebackers not so bad if you look at it. I mean, offensive line. Anyways, I won't go all the way. 11, 10 or 11, but 11 because I'm a Cowboy fan.
Okay, Jimmy.
I've looked at it and went over it and analyzed it, and we're going 12 again.
12 again.
Yeah,
Wow.
100%.
You guys are way more
All right.
optimistic than me.
You're,
I'm
you're,
thinking,
he's over there. Look, he's literally over there drinking the tea because
man,
Hold on,
he said today. Well, you have no draft picks.
guys. Answer me this: Do we get 8 or 9 home games this year? We do, right? We get 8 or
9.
9 home games. We get 9
9.
home games. Okay. Do we have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, the best wide receiver and quarterback combo in the league last year? I think we still do, at least this year. I don't know if we will in the future. Do we have
Yeah.
Michael Parsons and Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs still out
Yeah.
there and the exact same
Trayvon
safety
coming
room?
off the ACL though.
Okay, I get it. Jamarvion Overshown coming off an ACL too, but even if Jamarvion Overshown
Mozzie with the shoulder.
is 80% of what Marquise Bell gave you, I think it could be an upgrade. So I'm just saying, listen,
Don't do
I've
more
looked
things.
at, and that
Yeah,
would be fun.
I'm gonna go with the
Where you
10 wins, maybe. I feel like this is what I honestly, truthfully, in the bottom of my heart, I think that the Cowboys can win with strictly just putting Dak out there with a bunch of nobodies.
Good
Just
news.
because I think Dak's gonna will you to some wins.
Resign Dak.
I have no doubt about that. Now, how many wins can he will you against the good teams? Because that we've known, like, Dak beats up on the bad teams. I don't have a question about him beating bad teams. How many do you have on your schedule of bad teams? Then you got to factor in the good teams. Then you got to factor in the actual playoff, legit, real teams.
So that can be fun. I'm going to grab our schedule real quick. That can be fun because if you want to, I mean, if you've got time, I can tell you exactly who we're beating and who we're not, or I can at least give you my reasonable. There you go. There you go. A little very early pre-draft schedule prediction here. See where we're at.
Dallas Cowboys 2024 schedule.
Yeah, because I believe we even know our home and away opponents. So we know who we're playing on the road. We know who we're playing at home. Just don't know the win.
Well, that was
Landry, I think you're muted if you're chatting at
okay.
us.
Here's the home. This
here.
is the home opponents. Ready, guys?
Okay.
We have New York Giants, Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles, of course, New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Detroit Lions. And that is those are just the NFC opponents.
Okay.
The AFC opponents that will be coming into Arlington is Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and the Houston Texans. All of those teams are good, and they should be good.
So just off the teams you just said, if I gave Philly a win, I gave Detroit a win, and I gave the Ravens a win, which I'll go ahead and do that. We're at 3 now. You can try to give Houston one coming into Dallas. Maybe they can make some noise. But
you're saying we'll lose to those teams?
I'll say those are the Detroit, Baltimore, and one to I'll give Philly.
Okay, so let me add this up. So we got Giants, Commanders, we have the Saints, the Bucks, and did you give the Bengals a win against us?
No,
hell
no.
I don't think they're as good as you think they are.
5 wins. Well, they're gonna they're gonna have Burrow back.
Mm-hmm.
And against our running back.
They'll compete. I just not at home. If we were in Cincinnati later in the year, November, December, something like that. Maybe.
Here's the thing: if it's the Bengals week 3, we're gonna win the game. If it's the Bengals week 15, we're gonna lose the game.
The win does matter,
and that's the real key to this schedule because there's people on this schedule like Pittsburgh and stuff where the win matters.
Sure.
Is it in December or September?
Right.
Okay, so we're 5-3 on those games
at home.
Am I missing one? Because I thought that we had 9 home games for some reason. You said Detroit would beat us, the Ravens. The Texans was a maybe. So let's just add. I'm going to say that the Texans got a lot better.
Okay. So now you're saying we're 4-4 at home. That's
no. I'm saying 5-4.
5-3.
5-4.
Okay,
5-4.
So we're going to say 5-4. Let's say we sweep the Giants and Commanders. Okay. That puts us at 7-4.
I mean, 2 road wins. Yep.
Philly, I feel like we're gonna split with Philly, so that's 8. San Francisco's gonna beat us. That's 5 losses, 8-5. Falcons, well, they got Cousins now. They got weapons, dude.
Cousins ain't never beat
us. Dude, you gotta have a surprising victory in there.
Hey, not if we play at 7:30. No chance.
Well, we're already at 5, and I'll give you one surprise, but it ain't Kirk Cousins and the Falcons.
The Panthers are not winning against us. The Steelers,
There you go.
Yeah, they're not going to beat us. The Cleveland Browns, though, could. Listen, okay, guys, let me be in my gloom and doom state over here.
Sure.
Falcon saying,
give it to
EJ,
us.
stop, Cousins.
Like,
Exactly.
Hey, listen, guys. I'm just going to tell you, Cousins is better than people think.
He's good.
And he's going to have, like, for all of what Justin Jefferson was, he's going to have legitimate weapons. Bijan Robinson, they got another good running back there in Algier or whatever. Pitts, you talk about Drake London. They brought in another wide receiver that's good. Like, they're going to have plenty of weapons for Kirk Cousins to operate with. Their defense is what is the hampering factor to that team.
well,
But anyways, Cowboys, I'm going to give 10 wins. Now,
that's fine. That's fine. See, you scoffed at my
Thing
11 and you're at
is-
10.
11 is just
That's one game. That's the Houston game. That's the difference to me. We're going to beat their ass in Dallas.
all right, man. I hope you guys are
And I'm-
right for
And I
the
got
sake
friends I'm
of.
taking with me to the game, so just so I can watch us beat them in front of them. Yeah. No.
For me, I'm like a big person on like statistics and stuff. Like 3, 12, and 5 seasons, you're probably gonna have a downer season somewhere, in this little
Unless you
5-year
get better.
span.
Oh, and by the way, another thing, I'm calling it right now, just because everyone was just like, "Wait, we're going to lose to San Francisco. We'll beat San Francisco next year." Whether it
Ooh.
affects anything in the end, whether we go further, in the
CD better
playoffs,
go for 4
can't-
tutties.
I can't tell you, but watch. Just because everyone's written it off now, that's just the way the universe works. We'll win that game.
It's not cool that they're making us play them on the road again. Of course. I mean,
Yeah, that's bullcrap. I do not understand that. That is
no. They went further than us in
complete-
the playoffs and everything. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl. They're supposed to have the worst schedule. Why are we going to their house?
Well, no, we've played them twice.
Yeah.
All 3 times that we've played them last times, except for minus the playoff home
In
game
our house, right?
was all away, I believe,
Mhm.
including the playoff games, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that includes 2 regular season games
That's
in there.
No,
So
the
I
last
don't
2
understand.
times we've played them in the regular season has been in.
Yeah,
their
I
house.
don't understand how they get a 3rd straight one. Like, what? That doesn't
When
make
they're
any
supposed to
sense
have the
me.
harder schedule because they just went to the Super Bowl too. Like, you're supposed
Anyways,
to have Dallas on the road anyway.
So we got 10, 11. What did you say, Jimmy? Did you
Oh,
say
said
12?
I
Yeah.
said 12.
Well, it goes 10, 11, 12 on the screen.
And listen,
There you
go.
after we draft, it'll be 12. But hey,
Well, there you go. Anyways, let's get into our draft. This is going to be a fun little exercise here.
Let's do that.
Man,
Let's do it.
we want to go 7 rounds, boys.
go as far as you want to go.
Yeah,
Look,
I think we can get through pretty quick.
I got no problem with 7. It's the first 5 that I think are where the relevant starters are coming from. But
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
I'm with you.
it's
Let's do a little something dirty in this draft. All right, whether it's trading up or down, we got to figure something out.
we ain't trading up because we're on the clock, huh?
Olu. Well, yeah, I was talking maybe like later in the draft.
Okay.
Olu, A.D. Mitchell, Kool-Aid McKinstry, JPJ, JJ McCarthy is here somehow, Troy Franklin, Peyton Wilson, Tyler Nubin, whole host of good players. Do we want to try to trade down? Do we want to try to? What do we want to do here, boys?
Falcon says, "What are the offers?" So let's, for his sake, we'll
Yeah,
take a
definitely.
look at
Let's
them.
look at the offers. Hey, my scenario was there, right? There's the JPJ that I would take, and there's trading back and plenty of players I would take. So
Right.
Arizona 27 and 66. Maybe we could try to go for. That'd be interesting to me. Or man, they have a lot of picks. 71 even. That's only 3 spots. Maybe we could get their 90.
you're
They
yeah,
look like
90's
they
the
could
best you're gonna
possibly
get.
take that pick.
That's the
Yeah.
best.
Check
you're
out
Yeah,
gonna
they'll
77.
definitely give you the
know.
104, but you
And-
want to try for the 90.
get. And 3's just far enough to it gets you 90, which is that 4th round pick. And
Let's try for that.
JPJ.
The 27 and the 90 for 24. Boom. All right, you guys ready to go?
As long
Yep.
as I leave my player there on the board.
And there you go.
Bang.
They took Olu. So that was one of the tackles I was looking at. Who was your
Right.
player? JPJ?
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you
Okay.
can trade down, pick up an extra third, and or get your 4th back and still get JPJ. Absolutely, that's a great trade for me. It's a great move.
I'm kind of looking at this guy right here. Jordan
Who
Morgan.
is- Jordan.
I
Morgan.
know it's a little bit
Is
of a
there
reach,
another
but
trade down?
Yeah, I mean,
nobody
why-
else is interested.
nobody's interested, but like I mean,
I'll trade him.
we can do 2 mocks. Like it doesn't this
Sure.
doesn't have to be the end all be all.
Sure.
Um, I'm almost like maybe we should try to trade down with
Yeah, trade
maybe
back again. No, I've traded
try
back
to
twice.
try to see with the Panthers or something like that, something crazy.
See, and that's the one I would be very interested in because I know they don't have a lot, but the picks they do have, the 85, the 103, the 140s, those are all huge for me.
Even getting 65 might be.
Or 65, not 85. Yeah.
Should we try that?
Yeah.
See if they would do it.
No, I'm interested in trading back again.
No.
Not quite. See, I
Um,
think they would have done that for the 24, but anyway.
all right, my daughter is going to bed, so I gotta say good night, Emmy. I love you. Sleep tight. And man, who else has it? Maybe
I love it.
Washington, 36. Let's try Washington real quick. If we can't get Washington to bite, then we'll stick and pick.
Gotcha.
36 and 40. Why is it not letting me go?
That you don't have 27 on there.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, of course they'll do that. 67. All right, well, I guess we're sticking and picking. Let's just get JPJ, lock it in, and let's do it. Hold on, let me pause this draft. Tyler Guyton, Zach Frazier right after, Ricky Pearsall, Troy
Zach
Franklin.
Frazier went pretty high there.
Let's okay. I'm trying to
You're in
get
turbo
my
mode.
guy. Yeah, I'm trying to see if maybe I can maybe even trade up for Morgan.
Oh, and I love that.
39. Maybe the Panthers might be interested in
Yeah. Well, like you said, they don't have a lot of other picks.
56 and 87.
Oh, they'll definitely do that. I wouldn't give them 87 though.
I can tell you isn't Green Bay at 41? Who's at 41?
41 is Green Bay. Yep.
Yeah, that's in other mocks I've done. They've been a pretty willing trade partner.
Washington took JJ McCarthy
Yeah.
and oh no, they took Malik Neighbors number 2 overall.
Wow.
All right, I put the randomizer up like another tick than I usually do.
Yeah.
It's still not even halfway,
it's working.
but it went crazy on it apparently, which is fine. It's just an exercise. 39, and if we gave them 90, would you do that or no?
And we're moving back 17 spots. Or we're moving up 17 spots.
Up
we're
17
taking-
spots, but we've already got that 87. You know what I
Right.
mean, so it's
Right. You traded
it's
down
really
one.
just getting you're trading down to get the guy you would have picked at 24 anyways, and then you're trading back up to get another guy you feel really good about playing
to
tackle.
basically solidify your offensive
Oh, I
line for
love
the
it.
future.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm good with it.
All right, let's see if we can get this. Boom, we're on the clock, boys. Jordan Morgan's still there, and
Love
I
it.
say we pick him.
Perfect. No, that's your guy. That's what you made the
You
trade
got
for.
an offer.
I
No,
feel
you're
good
all
about
world-
this,
you're
dude.
all
If the
world left
Cowboys
guard.
did this,
Oh
Dude.
God.
They're not going
Let's
to.
go,
That's not, I mean,
baby.
unfortunately, we'll smoke the draft and
Cooper went all the way in the 3rd round, boys. Blake Fisher, man, if I didn't just
If
take,
they actually failed at
Morgan.
87, yeah, of course.
I mean, that's
This-
a good pick right there. But Marshawn Lloyd, I love Marshawn Lloyd.
No, we
Just
don't pick again to
explosive running back.
174, so this player has to be the guy we need. Like he has to be the guy. Like because we don't pick again.
Falcon
for
is
90
not
picks.
Falcon
I hate
is not
this.
liking this draft, how players are falling apparently.
yeah, seriously, that one tick of random does make it crazy.
It does. It
It's
shakes it
yeah,
up.
I don't. But you know what?
Wait, do
it's
you have
fun.
Edgar Cooper still?
We're gonna
Oh,
go with another mock draft after this, anyways. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I would go
Um,
for me 87 with the board that's available. I'm going Jalen McMillan. That's just me. You can try Jeremiah
Michael
Trotter.
Pratt?
I'm big on Michael Hall. He's somewhere around the 100s, I believe, is where he's going to go. That's why I like trading back and picking up of draft picks somewhere around 100. I'd really like that. Like to add Michael Hall.
yeah,
to this team.
let's see our trade options here. Cincinnati, they're willing to give us maybe these 2 picks for 87. Would you do that? 97, 115.
Hell, just because we don't pick again to
Oh,
174, if they
absolutely.
don't, I would give them that for 97 and 149. So yeah, I would try that one and then
Let's try this and see.
offer them the next one.
Hey,
Boom.
they accepted
Hey,
it.
that's a good trade.
That's great.
Jalen McMillan off the
Because the
board.
player
They
wasn't
went
there
up for the
where we were.
Blake Fisher.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lloyd went off Cooper Beebe, but we were going to pick him. Hey, that's okay by me. Man, I love Malik Washington. Smaller
What number
guy,
are we
but
at now?
97.
97. But we pick again at 115 instead of 174. So I like
You,
this.
you won't get Michael Hall at 115.
I think he already went, didn't he? Yeah, 2 picks ago. Yep.
Dude, every time I've drafted,
Every time.
2 picks before.
That's my guy. I
I'll
hope
be at
we find a way to
84,
get him.
Braylon Trice has fallen quite a bit. I don't love Braylon Trice, but just a solid pass rusher.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
you're
would
looking
be,
at Sam Williams competition right there.
yeah. Kalen Carson, interesting corner out of Wake Forest.
EJ, before we went live, we were talking
Ooh,
about
Jamari Thrash. I really like. Go
we
ahead,
were
Doug.
we were talking about doing it for Mike Tag, and I said that there was one Miami safety around the 5th round. I was
Nah,
interested in.
that's the guy right there.
That's
Cameron
him, huh?
Kinchins.
That's the one.
Kinchins, yeah.
6', 205. So this isn't the guy that I thought was going to transition to linebacker. Played really good in 2022. Drop off in 2023. Let's see how many interceptions he had. Does that show? It does not. Games played, snaps, pass rush, just snap count and stuff. I haven't done a scouting report on this guy, so I don't really know what he's about. I like Jamari Thrash quite a bit. Blake Watson would be another guy I'd be interested in. Devondre Sweat, even though he has the concerns, but I mean, you could probably get him outside of the top 100. I feel now.
Wow, what happened there? I didn't realize that he had fallen that far down boards.
So he has character concerns, partying, drinking, and stuff like that, and then he recently just got a DUI.
Oh, that's right. The DUI. Yeah.
Oh, so it sounds like the Cowboys would take him in the 5th round.
That sounds perfect for me, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just hit.
I would go Malik Washington and then grab
Chris
Devondre Sweat at
Strain
115.
would be a fun one. Jordan McGee is a guy that's linked to the team. We can fill a linebacker role right there.
He is good.
Obviously, we could probably get him at the next pick.
We do still need the linebacker, though.
Yeah.
Let's see our trade options here. If we got Chicago Bears, they literally only have 1 pick left. Green Bay Packers, 126. Wouldn't love that. Let's see if there's any team that has double picks right here. Just get crazy with trades. Just continue to trade back and back and back.
That's the way you fill a lot of holes, though. I mean, that's if you're gonna do it. It's not unheard of. It's not common, but it's not unheard of for teams to keep making moves and end up drafting 10, 11 players. It's something when you're trying to fill voids.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody that has continual picks, so I think we're gonna have to stick and pick. Who's somebody that stands out to you guys? For me, Braylon Trice would be up there. Jamari Thrash would be up there for me.
Yeah, we've already
Chris
got our
Abrams
JPJ. I like Cedric Brand's value there, but we've already got him. For me, I think our biggest need at this point would probably be in the receiver room.
I need a nice.
Like I said,
no, that's a nice Smith with the next pick. I see him down there waiting on us.
Falcons saying Allen 100%, and then next pick, wide receiver next pick with Washington from USC, in my opinion. Get a running back. 1 wide receiver, 3, 4, depending on how he goes, and then round 5 you can get the linebacker. Man, let's see. My wife with the crazy.
I love
comment.
it.
I don't even know if I want to pull
that
up.
is the comment of the year. I absolutely.
I'll throw it up here on the screen.
You got to, yes, sir.
That is right.
So he's saying Braylon Allen at 121. I think we could get him a little bit later. I'm not opposed to it.
Kalen coming in and stealing the show. I love it.
EJ, the third baby. So the babies. I mean, how old's the oldest?
She is about to be 3.
Okay, so it's 2 girls.
Yep. I have 2 girls. Yep. I kind of want Thrash. I don't know where you guys are. Where are you guys at? Or Trice. I'm okay with Trice here. What are you thinking? Did any of these names stand out?
Do you think because we pick again at 115, do you think Jamari Trash is or Thrash? Do you think Thrash is making it there to 115?
No,
Possibly.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's my thing. I'm looking at
Anaya Smith for 115
or a receiver with the next pick.
I would be good with that if we got Thrash now and then Smith with 115.
Yeah, there you go. Call it.
Who's Smith?
Anaya
Smith, wide receiver, A&M. We cut for our Aggies.
You're trying to pick 2 wide receivers?
Oh, we already drafted a wide receiver. I missed that. I forgot.
No, we haven't drafted one, but Thrash is a wide receiver.
I thought you said he was a linebacker. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with his name, but what school is he out of?
Louisville. We could go. I mean, we could even go Sweat, Allen. One of these guys. What are we wanting?
Yeah, we haven't picked a running back yet. That is.
Dude,
let's pull up our needs.
It really would be an ultra cowboy thing to do to take Devondre Sweat here.
It would. It would be a thing that I believe our front office would do.
It's just a play. It's just Lyle Collins. It's just a player we needed that happened to fall to us that used to have a second round grade on him, but character issues and.
So then I would be good with that even Thrash and then Javondre if he falls to 115 because I think he will.
There you go.
All right, let's go ahead with Thrash and we're gonna see if Sweat will make it to us.
Will make it.
And it looks like he did. He did.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Also,
we're talking about 115 now.
Yeah, that's crazy. PFF has Javondre at 122 now. He was at like 30 something just weeks ago.
See, and that's
40.
the thing. He's not the 122nd most talented player in the draft. No, he's in the top 30 in that.
Do we want to see if we can maybe trade back? Ooh, 128 and 133 we could get for 115 maybe.
Take it. I want all the picks.
I'm gonna see if they'll take it.
I'm with you. I want
144
everything.
Maybe. Let's see if we can get that.
15 people in this draft.
They don't want that.
Make a whole new football team.
They're going up
get rid of the 120 something. Take 133 and 44.
Okay. See where you're at. Okay. Hey, we got it. Let's get it. Just
double up here.
Last. Oh, went to the Bills.
That's okay, I was literally fixing to say, give me Eichenberg at one of these picks, and I'm good.
Right.
Yep, and he's the top player available.
I like Eichenberg. Don't get me wrong, but I think that they would go Jordan McGee just because he's a 30 visit.
If you want to be.
That's true, and I would take either one of them. I mean, if we had this pick realistically and they were both there, I would be happy with either one. Eichenberg for me would probably be the guy, but
this is a guy I would like. Mo Kamara. Have we taken our running back yet?
No, because we were looking at.
No, we did not.
Falcon was screaming Braylon Allen a couple rounds ago.
Okay.
The kid out of Purdue
still on there.
He already left.
Did he? Okay. That's when I was looking at in about the 5th. Yeah.
So is this our linebacker here? Tommy Eichenberg or Jordan McGee?
I'm happy with either one of those guys. If Cowboys did the 30 visit and you like him, then I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go with McGee. Sweat that high. Let's see. Is Sweat that high, or is he helped massively because of Murphy? I really liked Sweat. Whenever I watched him, I thought that he was just a big dude that clogged the lane. However, how valuable are those guys when you can run outside zone, continually and just scheme him out of the game? But I mean, 4th round, you would love that, in my opinion. I would.
Sure.
Love it. Now he's
a
overweight,
lot to build on,
a little bit overweight, and does have the character concerns. But
again,
that's the Cowboys pick.
That depends on what team you are, right? Because what are you going to do? Run an outside zone into D-Long or Michael Parsons?
Falcon over here. I hate this whole draft.
He said this is why.
Okay, Falcon.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Hey, we're doing another one right after this one. Let's add a tight end, Holker right here, the Hulkster. This dude is good. I like this dude a lot, actually. I think he's going to be a better pro than college player.
And see, And when you were talking about tight ends, right? Because here's where I'm at with people wanting interior defensive linemen. Our first and second round picks last year were nose tackle and tight end. I'm not, for me, if I don't care what coach we just brought in, fix that. We just spent the 24th pick on Mozzie Smith. Make him play like at least a second round pick. Can you get that out of him? Because if that's the case, then I'm not even looking at this draft like we need an interior defensive lineman. I like bodies, but before the 5th round, not even thinking about it if Mozzie Smith lives up to his potential. And, same thing with every position.
I swear if you drafted tight end before a linebacker or running back. I drafted a linebacker. We just drafted McGee. I'm changing my name again to EJ Hates Dallas. Goodness. We just took a linebacker, Falcon. Where were you? All right, for real, I feel like we could wait on running back. I don't really love any of these 3 guys that are next up. Garindo I like a lot. Rasheen Ali I like. McClellan.
We can get Garindo at 174, and maybe that'll make Falcon happy.
Or we can just get Frank Gore Jr., bro.
At 216.
What do we need real quick? Let's factor in what we've got. We've got a wide receiver, we got our offensive tackle, we got our center, and we've got our linebacker, right?
Linebacker.
So running back is still a big thing. Defensive interior, Mason Smith. I have not scouted him, but ranked 140. We can check his measurements real quick.
We didn't take Javondre?
No, we drafted Devontae Swift. We're good.
Yeah, we did, right? We took Javondre.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I thought you said we did.
No, we lost him. Remember, he went to the Bills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, we definitely still need that interior.
Yeah, I would have liked to have Sweat, but hey, that's all right.
Well, in the 120s.
No,
I would
Mason
not be.
Smith is the pick.
I wouldn't be opposed to even getting Gray here, just double dipping at linebacker.
Me either.
Turning a weakness to a strength. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right.
I've been drafting. No, I'm 2 linebackers is in the cards for me.
Mm-hmm. Later in the draft, but yeah, I've been
Falcon with this draft. Jerry's calling DeMarco Murray to come and play running back again. Hey, bro, I'll be honest. I hate running back in the first 3 rounds. So I'll just be dead honest about that. We could still get Garindo right here if you guys are interested. We could get Ali, or we can continue to neglect the position because it doesn't really matter. And
right, that's right.
And just get Steel Chambers. No, I'm just kidding. 3 linebackers back to back.
I'm in love with Josh Proctor.
I think this is. Oh no! I thought that said safety. Proctor.
Yeah, which he is a safety, and he's a guy I really hope we take with this pick.
Newton is an interesting guy. Had a down season this past year, but 2022 was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, 3 interceptions, 5 touchdowns. The year before that, he had 4 touchdowns, 2 ints. On a late round flyer, you get a guy that can play cornerback for you and be a depth piece in the 6th round or 5th round. I would actually like Josh Newton quite a bit here.
I don't hate it.
Where was your guy Proctor at?
Yeah, a little higher.
Oh, right here. Okay.
Yeah.
I have not watched him. 6'2", 205, senior, seen a lot of ball.
Yeah.
25 years old, so a little bit older.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's just very coachable, very sound player, technically sound, not going to make a lot of mistakes for you. Just a good footballer. Just a guy you want out there. I'm telling you. He's a if you want to give him a comparison for me, it'd be Wanye, right? Just a solid NFL player that you want on your team, that you're very happy with.
Okay. My guy, Falcon. I'm making a drink. Yeah, I need it. I'll be back.
Make a double.
Oh man, that's awesome. And my guy, I'm wondering who this is from the grid. Probably Barry. So what's up, Barry? I want to lean Josh Newton. I'm open to picks for you guys.
No, I don't hate that. Cornerback, listen, corners and wide receivers for me in a passing league, you can't have enough of those guys. When somebody gets hurt, it hurts your wide receiver, your cornerback room. I mean, listen. So you'll never.
Again, we're doing it then.
I'm
going to let you guys
all the way for next year. There for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I'm gonna let you guys take over the next draft more, and I'm gonna kind of sit back. I'll lean my opinions here and there, but I want to really see a true the star we are mock
Yeah.
draft
Oh,
and
you
see
got it.
Oh yeah.
what you guys are doing. Christian Boyd, interior D line right here,
Look at those
just continues to
grades.
improve. Yeah. This dude, I
What's he
would be
doing
very
now? What's he
interested.
doing in this round? What's he
He
doing
plays.
here?
He played for UNI.
Yeah, just a small school guy. You
Yeah,
know,
but listen, I know PFF grades, and that means he basically was just whooping everybody he touched. This is what
Yeah.
it looks like.
no, I mean, truthfully, I think that he's underrated on their board. And I'd love the pick if it was a 6th round. I would like to pick
Yeah.
5th, 4th
Oh, we're
round. You know what I mean?
Well, then we're done. You said all the right
Okay.
things.
No, you convinced.
All right.
Listen, you got me wanting him on our team now.
Let's do it then. And I think this is our last pick right here. So take a flyer on Frank Gore Jr. Perfect. We pick up our running back.
There you go.
I kind of forgot that we neglected that. Hey,
We
let's
had one
go ahead
more
and pick Frank Gore Jr.
Okay.
Just to. We still have one more. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, 244.
My quarterback competition, Austin Reed.
Austin Reed. I went to a high school. I actually worked with a kid named Austin Reed. Definitely not the same kid. This kid was like 5'6", so no way.
He checked his height to make sure.
I think in every
Yeah, no
every
way.
mock I've done, I'm pretty much this is where I double dip at linebacker and grab a Jalen Ford. Yeah, in
did
most
that.
mocks
Let's
I've
do it.
done, yeah.
Hey, we're 3 at. Oh, Sam Hartman,
deep.
dude, that's great value though.
Was in
There you go.
Sam Hartman, but
There
you
you
already
go.
have Trey, obviously, and you got Cooper.
yeah, that's very true. If you hadn't traded Trey Lance, then you're definitely not doing that. And listen, like I
Yeah.
said,
Just
There's-
keep going down the board a little bit. Yeah, nobody's popping off the screen to me. So let's go ahead and just pick up a 3rd linebacker for the draft. And you know what? Turn that weakness to a strength, boys.
all the way. No,
Let's
that
get it.
room is pretty stacked.
Let's get it. We listen to Falcon.
That player we just drafted went to the practice squad.
Shoo! This grade's about to be nasty. I already know.
In Arizona.
Jackson Powers Johnson with the trait back, and we picked up the dude. I'm sorry, but I would
O-line,
love
though.
if we could
If we
even just
did
get
that.
those two
Dude.
Oh,
somehow.
no, so-
That's my draft interest in trading back. Is
That's
both the
beautiful.
offensive line pieces. Mhm.
And
That's
then
it.
Jamari Thrash, sure, a little bit of a reach, whatever. I really don't care. Jordan McGee, 30 guy. Cedric Gray, Jalen Ford. You, like I said, make that weakness into a strength.
The back-to-back
Josh
Jordan McGee
Newton.
and Cedric Gray. Yeah.
Mhm.
Josh Newton's a guy that has a lot of upside. Had a little bit of a down year, but really good.
Right,
Christian
Boyd,
Boyd,
even more upside.
underrated
No, I like
on that
it.
board,
Even
and then
more
Frank Gore.
upside.
This is top 44% of all the drafts. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but
No, because it's look. As far as that goes, EJ, if you want to see a top 3% draft, we can do that. But it means
yeah.
it means manipulating an algorithm. And I'm not
All right, this is what I had it on. We need to change these for sure. So PFF versus regular public board. I'm going to keep that in the middle. Care for positional value. I feel like teams are kind of in the middle on that too, but I usually just take it a tick down. Draft for needs, I have it middle. And randomness, this is usually what it's out right there. And I just
Yeah,
took
one
it up to
above.
that. So
Right.
where do we want to go? Keep
Just
it?
where they usually have it, probably, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's pretty
Okay.
fair, especially where you have the other.
Alrighty. And I'm going to start it off. The typical people go. Jerzon Newton made it
Okay.
there. Graham
If
Barton.
this is a
JPJ.
Star We Are draft and Landry's okay with it, I would like to propose a trade for Trey Lance right now to pick up an extra pick because we're going to sign Dak Prescott,
All
and I
right,
don't
all right.
need 2 Cooper rushes.
Okay, so
If Landry's on board with that,
Yeah.
what
mean,
are we
you're
trying
gonna-
to get for Trey Lance?
a 4th-round pick or late
fourth
third or
round.
Get
early
our money
4th-round
back.
pick.
Our
That's
money
right.
back. That's
Give him our
right.
money back.
Okay, so for whose 4th-round pick?
Buffalo. They've got it, and they
Buffalo?
want,
Why would Buffalo trade for Trey Lance though?
oh,
That's very
I need
true.
you need a realistic trade partner. Yeah, I just like their spot.
New England. Well, who did New England take in this mock? Did they take a quarterback?
That's a good point. Up there at
The
3.
guy Kelly is in the chat. He's saying chances that the Cowboys draft a QB first 3 rounds. Guys, I'm not ruling it out. Wish that I could, but I feel like Dak era is about to end.
Dak
So
era's
real
about to
quick,
end.
since Kelly's been here, and what's up, K9, and since I'm gonna steal 60 seconds to say this real quick.
Falcon Kelly, you're drunk.
I wish I was. We have to remember Dak bet on himself the first contract year. We offered him something. He was 3-0. He said, "Nah, I'm good. I'll play this thing out." The next year we signed him. He got the money he wanted. If Dak is looking at this again, going, "Nah, I'm betting on myself. I'm gonna play this thing out," we've got to take this into consideration. We have to pay him 55 this year. If he doesn't stay, no matter who he plays for next year, we've got to pay him 45. Dak's looking at this possible year, if this is a scenario, right? And if Kelly, what Kelly is saying, he's worried about he may be on the way out. He might be looking at this year like, okay, I've got $100 million at the end of this year because all I have to do is finish this year with Dallas. They pay me 55, then they've got to give me 45 at the start of next season. Plus, I'm going to sign with someone and get about 150 up front. We already know that that's what's happening, i.e., other quarterback contracts out there. So Dak might be looking at this year going, by this time next year, I could make $250 million in a year. Or if I extend with Dallas, I might make 300 million over the next 5 or 6 years. And when you talk about money, and you can't blame a guy for wanting to get paid, that's a real scenario that we have to look at.
All right, I traded Trey Lance to the Broncos. I felt like that was kind of realistic for 145.
Great.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah, okay, Kelly. He said the words that one shall never say, calling Dak the Black Kirk Cousins. I got to bring that comment up. We got Vince over here with the crying emoji.
Leave it to K9 to make it a party, boy.
Come in and cut it up.
We're gonna bring it back to the draft scenarios. Okay, guys.
Okay, now we have
Jerson
to
Newton,
trade. Yeah, now
Graham
we got our.
Barton. Go. It's your guys' draft. I'm here clicking the buttons.
We're trading
So,
down here.
Trading
Yeah.
down. Okay.
Yes.
With who?
Who
The
wants-
Buccaneers
who's
want to
talking?
come up.
They're not far enough down. What are they? 29. Where are they
The
at?
Buccaneers might even
No.
give you 89 for this.
No, they're giving me.
They're 2 picks down.
Yeah.
Who else is
yeah.
interested, though? Show me who
No.
else is interested.
You're not going to do better than 89 to come up 2 picks, but if you go further back,
Okay, you might be able to get 29 and 73 from Detroit. Should I try that first?
Is that the two closest
it looks
picks
pretty
that's
likely.
interested? That's 29 and
Well,
and I like-
61, I doubt they do. 12%
I like-
chance.
yeah.
no.
I
they're
like
not gonna do
29
that.
and 73.
Okay,
I'll offer that.
43%.
No.
They said no.
What were the other interested teams?
Okay, hold
Tampa
on.
was the other one.
Baltimore Ravens, you could get 30
That's where
and,
I'm at.
and 93.
That will
30 and
definitely be
90,
accepted.
yeah.
I also want
think,
130 something though.
But you can get 26 and 89, I think, from Tampa Bay. You're dropping down to only 2 spots, and you're getting a better third rounder.
Yeah.
Let's try this real quick.
That's what I like.
Okay,
No,
they
don't.
said no.
They're lying.
But maybe they'll give us 92. No trade attempts remaining. You're crazy, bruh. I only did 2, didn't I? Oh,
Oh, it
no, I
felt
tried
like-
I tried the one with Detroit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullcrap. Okay,
trades
I'm just
left
gonna
in this round?
Force it. Yeah, you can just force it, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna force this trade.
Reasonable enough.
Well, it doesn't even let you do that.
If you're out of trades, yeah.
That's bullcrap. Why? Do you
We can
want
run
me to
it back.
restart the draft?
Yeah, all we've done is trade Trey Lance. Yeah, we can run that back really quick.
Okay. All right. Oh man, now I have to mess with all this stuff.
All right, look, while he's doing that though, when we make this trade back, like what were you you're about to go to 29, right?
Yeah, 29. Or no, 26.
Oh yeah, only 26. Oh, see, we're fixing it.
All right, let's trade to the who did I trade? Oh, Denver, that's right. So Denver 145 for Trey Lance, right?
I'm okay with that.
Actually, let me try 136.
Wait, what does New England have?
Okay, they don't want to do that.
Can you tell me which picks New? Or never mind. That's good.
That's right.
All right, I'm just gonna go through the draft again. We have J.C. Latham now that it's made it here. Graham Barton, Jackson Power, basically the same players. Okay.
No, JC
Trade
Latham makes a big
offers.
difference.
Tampa Bay 26 and 92. Should I try this real quick? 62%. chance that they do it.
with Tampa, and that's to go down 2 spots.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'll go down 2 more because I see
Okay.
3 players I'll take.
Okay, so Graham Barton off the
Perfect.
board to Green Bay.
Lathan's still there.
Well, if that's the case, then that's
Then,
our pick.
then we're done.
Well, you got 10 trade offers still.
Yeah, because they all want J.C. Latham. That's what they're
Okay.
looking at. He's way high on the board at this point. What do you
Okay,
say?
so we want
Landry?
Latham.
I don't think we need. Do you think we should try to trade back again or take Latham?
You're going to lose Latham and get JPJ depending on how far back you go.
Latham is a true right tackle, if that matters to you guys.
Okay, are
And
the
a
Bills
lot of
interested?
people, we can see. The Bills are not. So you would have to drop all the way to Kansas City, 32.
Yeah, no, I would rather just take JPJ here. This is in that exact
But you could
area
pick
where
up
we've
that
been
90. You could pick up 95. It's almost guaranteed you can get that pick.
Well, no, they'll definitely give it.
Oh, you could maybe even get both of these picks. 95 and 131. What do you guys want to do?
How far back's that?
To the last pick in the first round,
To the
32.
last pick of the first round, yeah.
Where you can still get an offensive lineman. Zach Frazier.
Go.
JPJ might fall.
Hey, you
I
guys don't
don't-
have to do that.
I don't think so.
I'm just trying to get as many picks as you want.
No, I'm all about loading the roster. I'm team trade back 100%. So I'm good with this if Landry wants to offer that trade.
Offer it.
Offer it.
Mm-hmm. Give me a
Hey,
play.
you guys got it. Hey,
I'm ready to.
all
pick
right,
a player now.
resuming it. J.C. Latham goes. Jackson Powers Johnson
Of
to
course they did.
Detroit, unfortunately. Peyton
Yeah.
Wilson goes very high. Chop Robinson, Troy Franklin. Guys we weren't really crazy about. Zach Frazier still there. You can pick him up. You can go Jordan Morgan. You can go Tyler Guyton. That's kind of the extent of where I would go for offensive line. But
Who are you higher on, Landry? Not JPJ, Morgan or Frazier?
Jordan Morgan. Athletic.
I would take him here at 32.
for me, if I was putting my input in, I would pick Jordan Morgan just because I feel like there's better centers down the board than there is tackles.
And I'm
You know
not
what I mean?
and I'm not completely off the board of Brock Hoffman being as good as Tyler Biotish. So, and I'm okay with that if that's the case.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are going to go Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we're back at
Alrighty.
56.
Back at 56.
But we're loaded from here out. We've got some good picks
Yeah,
after
we
this
better
one.
be.
This is a guy I think that could play center for you guys. Christian Haynes, very good. Just a straight mauler in the middle.
I still think Cedric Van is available at 87 or 92. So I'm holding off on center at this point.
Yep.
And I want
Adrian
Cooper.
Cooper's there.
I want him.
Okay. Are you going with that, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Chat is already kind of liking this.
He won't be there.
Falcon says Hoffman can't be worse.
It can't be worse. So that's what I'm saying. If you
Cooper,
get-
done. Let's get it. 87, and then you got to pick at 92 as well.
right.
Where's your center at, Coach?
Yeah,
Van
scroll down a
Pran?
little bit. Find Van Pran for me. He's at 100. And
So
we
he'll
have
last till the next pick.
we have 95 is where we want to get him if he's there.
Okay.
where I
Even
think
like,
he will be.
truthfully, even if you miss out on Cedric Van Pran, Christian Mahogany can slide into center. I have no doubts about that. So
Well, I at that
Hunter
point, if he
Norzander as
fell, I
well.
would go Michael Hall.
And
but-
I see your running back sitting there at 112, right? You've got Tracy and you've got Michael Hall. So you've got some players that you're looking at.
now let me ask you this real quick, Landry. Go ahead.
One of those you're gonna have to jump for if you're looking to get all those. But what are you looking at right here?
So for me, like I said, I'm willing to say Brock Hoffman in this scenario is as good as Tyler Biotish, and we
Okay.
got Jordan Morgan, and now
Mhm.
Tyler Smith is stuck at left guard.
Mhm.
I don't think we have to try center here,
Okay.
or even with the next pick if you don't want to. So we
Then
really can.
Then double dip linebacker with Jeremiah Trotter.
Okay, so let's go. So who do we want here?
Is he there?
Our wide receiver or
Yeah.
running back?
No, the running backs are all over the board still. At wide,
Okay, then
wide receiver, I'm okay with, but I was saying double dip with Trotter at linebacker.
Well, we have 87, 92, and 95.
Mm-hmm.
hey,
J-
loaded.
Go. Oh, there's
What-
your.
what do you
So
guys
you
going?
want you want Trotter here?
What receiver do you want?
Jalen McMillan. I would even take Malik
Okay, fine.
Washington. I really like Malik
No,
Washington.
No,
McMillan?
I thought you liked
I-
McMillan more.
I do.
Then there you
I
go.
am.
There you go.
Okay. McMillan's a pick at
Turn the card
87. And we're right back up
Give him his
at
linebacker.
92.
Okay, Charter's still there. Yes.
Double dipping at the linebacker. You're
Now back
making that
to-
weakness.
Now back to your center.
Or, like I said, if I'm okay with Brock Hoffman playing center, I'll
What if
take
he's-
Tyrone Tracy
You're
here.
gonna take Tracy here then?
I'll
Fine.
take a running back.
What are the
All right.
picks? What are the picks?
You
we
guys
have
good with
left?
that?
Wait,
What
go back
number?
up.
95, 131. We could
We're
look
at-
at
we're
trade
at-
backs real quick.
We're at 95 and we have 131.
You could possibly pick up 98 and 119. You would probably have to
Well,
give
that's-
them something in return, though. 174, maybe.
Sure, they can
Mm-hmm.
have it.
Do you want to try that trade or
You can try it.
Yeah,
Okay.
accepted?
we're still gonna get your running back.
Yeah.
Now it becomes obvious, I think.
Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is
Which I
trade
really like
frenzy
him.
right
I
here.
honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Tyrone Tracy is starting running back for as late as he's going
Alright.
to go in the draft.
All right, it's time to talk about what we don't have. D line.
Center. Chris Abrams-Strain's nice cornerback. You could pick up.
And edge, some depth at edge rusher, which it could be
Kamara.
later.
Did Cedric Van Pran fall off the board yet? Because if he's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
there,
he
then I
went.
would take him.
He went.
Okay.
Yep.
He went quite a bit
I
earlier.
thought so.
Right,
Okay.
right after we picked. Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that. Braylon Allen's still there though.
Still
Let's
there,
look at.
121. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
pull up
crazy.
interior O line. Keegan is a guy. This would make Falcon happy, but I think that he's one of those phone booth kind of guys that can battle in the trenches.
I like Bortolini better. I'm definitely higher on him, but I mean they're really close. I mean, obviously PFF has them
Bortolini,
very close as well.
Bortolini just continues with the Wisconsin centers. Frederick,
I just like
Be
those
honest.
things. Yeah,
Right.
They just
No,
turn
for
them out.
sure.
Right?
Sure.
Like-
That's what I'm saying. So you would definitely be getting your Biotis replacement for sure if you didn't think Hoffman was.
so do you want to go Bortolini here?
What do if that's what I would be looking more along defensive line and maybe even corner at this point in the draft. I think the value's there. What
Show me the
to your
D line. Yeah.
defensive lineman?
Cornerback, defensive lineman, edge, and interior D line, or
Sure.
just edge?
Yep.
Okay. And have we picked our offensive tackle. Okay. So, I got some centers. I got some corners mixed in there. Dwayne Carter's a guy that's been kind of the fancy of Cowboys Nation a little bit at this time.
Okay, look at this, Landry. We got Mason Smith at 140, who I think we can get at 131 now.
Okay. That's
So
what I
I'm-
was looking for was Mason Smith. Yeah.
I'm willing to go Bortolini here if you want to,
Yeah.
if you don't like Hoffman, and then pick up Mason.
I think you're putting lots of
Falcon
bodies
is
out there.
Falcon saying Zinter is better than Keegan. When I watched the Michigan O line, I thought that Keegan was a little bit better, but he watches every game from them, so
Right.
he's saying that's an option later on in the draft. Where you guys want to go?
We'll go Tanner here.
Yeah, go with
Tanner?
Bortolini, and then we're trying to pick up Mason Smith.
Yeah, Mason Smith with the next pick. Hopefully he makes it.
Mason Smith.
No, I don't think he did.
I don't see him off the board, so let me pull these guys
He's
back
got to
up.
be there.
Is
I
he,
know.
He's in interior.
interior defensive
interior.
line,
There you go.
So
yeah.
here
Gotta
he
be
is.
there. Yep, there he is.
There you go.
Pick
Oh.
him right there. And then 145.
We're still
This is a pick that you won't have another pick for another 50-some, 60-some picks.
Yeah.
I'll let Landry have this one.
70 picks. Goodness.
Nice. Run it back up for me.
We picked a running back. We picked our interior D line. We picked our offensive tackle. We picked our center. We picked our
We
linebacker.
did get a receiver earlier, but I wouldn't mind
we
picking
picked
up
two
Luke McCaffrey here.
linebackers. I don't
We
think we
definitely
picked did we pick? Oh yeah, we did pick Jalen McMillan. Yeah, I don't know. The Holker. I mean, you can go on tight end.
Oh, you know what? Who I really like here, Coach? Christian
Go.
Jones. Scroll back up just a little bit. 154. Everybody is sleeping
Another
on this
tackle?
kid. I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody's sleeping on that. No, wait, no. Yes, it is. Well, but we've got Jordan Morgan. I forgot.
Well, I mean, you could double
But that's
dip.
just because we loaded up on picks. We filled the need positions.
Oh, sure, yeah. No,
But
that's you. You
the
can
problem
have
is
this
at this point the best available is like all positions we've taken. So
Hmm.
we might be moving down the board just for a player that we're.
You can get Jordan Travis.
My two guys are going to be Luke McCaffrey and they're the linebacker that's still
That's where we'll
there,
go. The other
Cedric
wide
Gray,
receiver. No, we'll go the other wide. No, we've already double dipped it at linebacker. We'll go the right.
Luke McCaffrey.
Okay, McCaffrey.
You can never
like
have
it.
enough competition there.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, we might even be looking at cornerback this round. That's right.
I hope we're looking at corner.
All right, Christian Boyd is still here. We've got Dylan Johnson.
Yeah, we need that
Carson
too.
Steele.
No, we need that in the interior defensive line to make sure that happens.
You want to go Boyd again?
I would. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Double dip on Mason Smith.
I don't dislike it.
Mm-hmm. Again, we just got all these picks. I just need one of them to work out. I mean,
yeah, no, sure. I'm gonna need a cornerback here, though.
Yeah.
Cornerback is slim pickings here, buddy.
Yeah.
Devonshire he's one guy. Daquan Hardy.
Yeah, maybe I'm not picking a corner here. We still have
Sam Hartman. You do have another place in your QB room now that you got rid of Trey Lance.
We still have 244, so he can have a quarterback there if he wants it.
You can spend a first round pick on the corner next year.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll take that.
All right, who you picking? Ford? Triple dip?
I really like him, but no, we don't need a triple dip there. Maybe in the running back room, right? Frank Gore, I'm okay with.
Didn't we just pick another running back?
Not another.
No, picked another receiver.
We picked Boyd. That's
right. Or an edge rusher.
Okay, Frank Gore could be your power back guy.
What are you looking at?
What positions do you want me to pull up? Cornerback for sure.
Corner and edge rusher.
Edge.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys. Sorry, boys.
No, I'm not gonna know much. Show me some schools back up top. South Carolina.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a corner from SC.
Edge.
An edge rusher from SC. Okay.
Got a really high
sacks, 4 sacks.
No, the 7 sacks last year and the higher rate, he obviously took a step up. So he's obviously getting better. He's on an upward trend. I'm willing to work with that as an edge rusher when you just lost Storms Armstrong at pick 230.
Let's check this guy out, though, real quick.
Okay.
5'4'7". So this dude's a little bit more consistent.
He's just a consistent, yeah.
But he's from Charlotte. I mean, this dude has a crazy last name. I don't even want to attempt to say. Okay, we'll pick this Solomon Bird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll go with Bird and last pick right here, boys.
So you.
Oh, yeah, no, we traded Trey Lance. That's he's there every time.
He wants Austin
We're going
Reed.
with Sam.
No, Austin Reed, my quarterback from Western Kentucky.
Austin Reed.
Yeah, we traded Trey Lance.
All right.
Sure.
Hey, I like it. All right, this is about to have so many picks. We're gonna have to see how many picks we actually got.
I think 11.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there you go. A- on the grading scale. We got Jordan Morgan, Edward Cooper, Jalen McMillan, Jeremiah Trotter, Tyrone, Tanner Bordellini, Mason Smith, Luke McCaffrey, Christian
with the
Boyd,
A- late in the 145.
Solomon Bird, and Austin Reed.
Yeah,
that's a serious draft, boys.
That's how you, like. That's what you load bodies when you.
Now we can all watch the Cowboys do something completely different.
We have to scroll all the way to here to even get a C. So, you guys cooked on it. Cowboys probably won't do that, but
no,
it is.
No, I don't even know if they'll trade back. I think they'll try to maneuver players and pieces and maybe picks next year. Yeah, maybe they'll move picks next year to try to get the fourth back. Maybe move somebody like you said, a player. But I don't. They're not gonna.
Yeah. All right. Well, what would you grade my draft? Secondly, what would you guys grade your draft?
I'll go first. I'll say they both. I'll give them both B pluses for me, just because scenarios are unlikely, but the players that we were targeting were right on board. I really like you. A couple of guys you opened up our eyes to tonight. Who is it?
Nice.
Late Christian Boyd.
Christian
Late.
Boyd. Yeah.
That's a
No,
good
Yeah,
he's a player, bro.
I'm a
I don't
PFF
understand why
guy.
he's so low.
Yeah, because like I said, it doesn't matter who you're playing across from. When PFF has your numbers like killing, he killed it, he killed it, he killed it. It means you're smashing everyone across from you. So there's a lot of potential there. So you really turned me on to that guy. So he's a name I'd like to see called late.
Yeah, since we did draft a lot of similar positions and similar parts of the draft, I would say a B plus for yours, and probably an A on ours, just for the sheer volume of players and the fact that we've got two defensive linemen to work with, two linebackers, and the whole idea we only need one to play out. So
Falcon said we didn't get any Michigan players, so it's a C minus for both of us.
Yeah, no Michigan players. I'm working on a draft
players.
right now for my guy Falcon right now. This is actually going to be the final mock draft I'm submitting. You can kind of guess what I'm going to do right here.
Yeah, surely.
But
I'm
going all for it right now.
In one of my first mock drafts, I just drafted Oregon somehow. Like, but 3 of the first 4 picks, I just had Troy Franklin and JPJ and
Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen,
Attaboy.
if our draft went JPJ, Troy Franklin, Bucky Irving, I ain't mad at that. You got a center, you got a stud wide receiver to replace. He's going to be better than Tolbert, and he's going to replace Cooks when he leaves. And
that was just
you got to run it.
All right, Falcon. This was the draft that I just completed for you, bro. Mike Sandstrom,
sick.
Blake Corum, Trevor Keegan, Jalen Harrell, AJ Barner, Josh Wallace, and Trente Jones.
I'm not gonna lie, impressive that you were even able to land a Michigan player in each round. Because how many eligible players do they even have in the draft?
They have a decent amount, I believe.
I'm sure they have 11, 12 players.
But this is called the Falcon draft right here. This is what you want, man.
13. He's got the answer.
Yeah. I would hate pretty much all of these players at the spots that I took them. But Mike Sandstrom actually has risen quite a bit. Good player, truthfully. Blake Corum, I really do like Blake Corum.
If we took him at 87, if he fell all the way to 87 and we grabbed a Blake Corum there, I am mad at that. But not at 56.
My thing is though, I hate mocking players that the Cowboys won't pick anyways. Like Tank Dell, prime example. I loved Tank Dell last year, but I never mocked him to hit to the Cowboys because Will McClay he's not going to draft first a small school guy and then a small guy in general. Like,
but you got to trust Will. I mean, listen, when I see guys like Wanye, when I see guys like I'm kind of losing it
Bland.
here. Even the St. Williams, Deron Bland is definitely one. I trust the hell out of Will McClay. And you know what? Shout out to why am I drawing a blank on his name here?
Al Harris.
Al Harris, thank you. Shout out AH.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Diggs comes in and just pick. Second year, pick. Deron Bland comes in, rookie year and second year, pick. When you look at their interceptions, they lead the NFL in interceptions. Trevon Diggs and Deron Bland
since 2021 or whatever.
Yeah, well, and their numbers, like when you add up their 2 interceptions, it's like more than teams. Like just between those 2 players, they have as many as teams have. So
yeah.
All right. So
I had an over under on, I think it was 8.5 interceptions between the duo next year. Are you taking the over under on that?
Yeah, I got the over all day. Yeah, I'll take.
I would take the over actually. I think one of them is going to get 7 or 8. Honestly,
another over under I had was 15.5 sacks for Micah.
Over. It's about time.
It is time for an over.
Because here's the deal. All that has to happen is for them to start throwing those holding flags. If they start throwing those and you can't hold them anymore, then it'll be 20. And
This is
that's really
true.
this is
Oh,
realistic. They held
He
them all the
really
time
should
the
have
other day.
had 20 last year, man.
here's another one. Over or under 35 touchdown passes thrown for Dak Prescott.
Under.
It's hard to throw 35 touchdowns. He threw
Absolutely.
36 this year, and it was like the one
Amazing.
time it's happened. Like it doesn't. Yeah, over
Happens once
35
every couple
touchdowns.
seasons.
Yeah, is rare. So I would go under there too.
Okay,
32.
CeeDee Lamb over or under 1,700 yards.
That's real close. That's a good over under.
That's the bet I wouldn't take. Yeah, I don't like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's exactly 100 a game. That's real tough.
Yeah.
That's a
Under.
good over under.
Yeah.
I'll go over just because I think there's a game where he's going to average 115, 120 because there's a game where he's going to get 230 again. Like he's going to eat. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I forgot what the last one was that I had. I can't think of it top of my head.
Well, I know we're
Um,
about to get out of here. Here's a question I've been cooking up kind of the whole time.
Okay.
there you go.
Based on the needs and kind of the amount of them because of what we have/haven't done in the first part of free agency. Every draft is important, but is this the most important draft in 5 years for the Cowboys?
I think it is. I don't know how you can
How you can say
factor in. Well, you factor in last year's draft, and really you got nothing from that draft, player wise. Your best player from that entire draft wasn't even a drafted player. You know what I mean? So it's a kicker too. So that throws in a caveat of like, yeah, that wasn't enough last year. So you really have to nail this one
No,
to feel
and
good
even
about yourself.
to even take that question a little further. Ooh, these lights are bright. Now the shades come off. To take that question even further, not only is this the most important draft for the Cowboys in a long time, in 5 years and 10, this might be one of the most important seasons for the Dallas Cowboys in a long time. We're
Yeah.
talking, if you don't get a Dak extension done, what does this team really look like post Dak? Where do we go? I mean, because when you talk about now where we need a quarterback, that's a bad place to be in the NFL, right? So that's tough. If you do extend Dak, even if you extend him and you win 11-12 game next year and you look the exact same, then you just hate it going, well, we're going to have 5 more years of this again. So this season it felt like last year we were at a precipice, right? Like this is our year, 12
No, it
win
felt like
seasons.
last year
we're
we
in
were
the
at a
playoffs.
precipice of winning it.
That's what I mean. And we got ousted by the 7 seed in a fashion that you're never supposed to be ousted in any game, in any preseason. The coaches ain't going to allow preseason players to get ousted like that. You guys really want to make this team or not? You get beat like that against the first time and a 7 seed has even been in the playoffs. That's disgusting.
I have a theory behind that loss right there, and a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I really do think that the Cowboys started to play into that whole Jimmy Johnson curse was lifted kind of a thing, where it wasn't the players like, oh, it's an actual curse or whatever, but I think that winning that Detroit game, they were kind of like, like maybe there is something like it was low key like lifted or something, right? And then they start winning, right, and they continue to win up until the playoff games. I think they had another loss in there or whatever, but regardless, they get into the playoff game and then they have that premonition or whatever it is in their head. We haven't lost in 17 games at home.
Yeah.
Our offense averages 40 points at home.
But like
Our
it's just going to
defense,
happen. Like they
yeah,
got into a
I
mindset.
think
Oh.
they got in the mindset of it's already written kind of a thing, you know what I mean? And I think that's why you saw some players have the after parties already set up and stuff like that.
Oh.
And they felt like they already had it won before they did. And so that's why it looked so shocking on the sidelines with some players. Like, what, like, am I in a fever dream or what is happening?
Shell shock, yeah.
Even if you feel like we did too. We did too against Green Bay.
Yeah.
We felt like, listen, just sell out on stopping Aaron Jones. We're going to win this football game.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for also feeling like, man, we're going to dominate this game. I don't mind confidence, and it's tough to say, for I won't say where I heard it from, but a player recently I was watching, and they said, which they said on a podcast, they probably don't mind, but I won't call them out. They just said we went into that game and everything we called on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, nothing worked. Everything they called beat our defensive calls. Everything we called on offense, it's like they knew our offensive call. And so I don't know if you want to credit that to bad coaching. We got out coached. It looks like it. We got out hustled. It looks like it. Visually it looked like you just got out everything. But there definitely has to be some defining factor of like, why did it go so bad? And to hear a player say everything we called was countered perfectly.
Yeah.
That's tough to hear, which is why you don't see Mike McCarthy getting an extension, which was why you don't see us fighting to keep Dan Quinn, which is why you don't see us in a hurry to pay Dak Prescott. It felt like I said, we were all on a precipice of this is our year to lose in the worst playoff loss in Cowboys history. Call it what you want, it just was. It's the worst playoff loss ever. And so to go from being you're supposed to win it this year to you lose the worst way ever.
So you're trying to hold it together this year, potentially.
Trying to hold it together, right? This is bad. If this things go sour, if Dak Prescott leaves and stuff like that, you're fighting for a fan base now.
For me, it was set up in the aspect of this is zero pressure game because you're look at your roster, you're way better than the Packers.
Yeah,
they're not a good team. They've lucked into some victories that season. Realistically, you're as dominant as any team at your house. The only thing that you were really thinking about is, hey, we've already beat Detroit. We're probably going to play them in the next round, and we beat them at our house. It all comes down to that San Francisco game. And they were just probably overlooking Green Bay in its entirety, and I think that's why it was like a shell-shock fever dream. Like, maybe they did buy into all the crap about we're so good at home, this Jimmy Johnson thing has been lifted. I don't know. And obviously, I don't think it's every single player, but I do think that was some players' mindsets.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a recipe for how you end up down 27-0 immediately. You go in thinking, oh, we're just going to call these plays. We're going to run them. It's going to be great. And then you're down 3 or 4 possessions. So I'll give a little bit of credit to what you're saying. That definitely, at least, even if everybody wasn't feeling that way, there were too many people feeling that way.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure getting you guys back on the show. Super fun. When you guys do set up your show, you're going to have to let me know so I can kind of promote it and stuff like that. And hopefully jump on there with you guys as well. But real quick, first round prediction. Who is it? Put it in the air for everybody to know.
In the end, it's Graham Barton. But none of the players we none of the players we picked. But yeah.
Okay, Jimmy, who do you think?
Honestly, I realistically believe a receiver is there that Buffalo really wants. And I think a trade back to 28 is going to happen where we accrue our 4th round pick. That is really, I do think so. And so at pick 28, JPJ. And I think he'll be there at 28.
Please.
I actually think they're going to go JPJ too. For whatever reason, I don't know why.
I hope so.
But I think that those tackles are going to be the ones that they really feel good about are going to be gone. And I think it's going to be a center. Whether it is Barton, Frazier, or JPJ, I think it's going to be a center. And with that, thank you guys for joining the show. Leave a like, leave a comment, set that notification bell. If you have not already, go give these guys a follow on their own accounts. Jimmy J's Hairs, Landry's Legend, and then TheStarWeAre. Great content over there, and I cannot thank them enough. Anyways, peace out. We'll see you next Tuesday. I will also be getting on the Grid Network's live draft show, and then also with Cowboys Can Fan on their live draft show Thursday night. So it should be fun. If you guys don't already follow those channels, go ahead so that you can catch me on there. And peace.